What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you checking in. All right, day one is in the books, and we now know we have a massive upgrade at the running back position. The Raiders went ahead and took Ashton Jeanty with the number 6 pick, and I'm going to give you my full opinion on this pick. We're going to break this thing down a little bit, but I'm also going to go over guys that I really want to target in the second and third round, given the fact that we just picked up a running back. And so let me know in the comment section down below what's your thoughts on Ashton Jeanty as the number 6 pick. Let me know in the comment section down below. At the same time, if you can, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those notifications. My next giveaway is at 5,000 subscribers. So if you want to be included in that, hit that subscribe button. It would be, I believe it's my 9th giveaway since starting this channel at the beginning of the 2023 season. And so again, it's just my way of showing my appreciation and saying thank you to all my subscribers and my supporters. And so let's kind of get into this, right? We picked Ashton Jeanty at number 6. And here's my thing. I'm not a big fan of going running back in the first round. All right. But it's also, obviously it's a need. We need to establish the running back position. The running backs that we had last year, they are not starting caliber running backs by any means. Now, this running back class is extremely deep. There's a ton of running backs that I liked kind of in the later round, mid to later rounds. But we pulled the trigger. The Raiders did get what a lot of people, the majority of people will say was the number 1 running back in this draft class. And here's the thing is at number 6, you want to get the best player at that position coming into this year's draft. And again, the mass majority will tell you that it was Ashton Jeanty. So they got the best player at that position. So you can't argue that. But what I want to know is, how are we going to help Ashton Jeanty have the best chance at success? And the way that we need to do that is we have to be able to shore up this offensive line. I think we have a massive hole at the guard position. Alice Kappa, he's not starting caliber based on his performance last season. Dylan Parham is not a starter based on what he showed last season. I think at best he needs to be a solid backup, potentially at the guard position and center, because Parham did play center as well, can switch into that spot. And so moving forward, again, I'm always an advocate for building the trenches. You know, I wanted to see us potentially trade back in the first round and get an offensive lineman, but obviously that didn't happen. So let's do our best to be able to protect Geno Smith and at the same time create those running lanes for Ashton Jeanty, because obviously if he can get to that second level untouched, this kid can be extremely explosive. All right. And so I'm going to kind of reserve judgment on that number 1 pick until I see how the rest of this draft plays out, because if we don't address the offensive line very, very soon in the second or third round, I think it's going to potentially limit the success that Ashton Jeanty can potentially have. And so I'm going to go over the top 3 offensive guards that I would like us to target in the second and third round. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. But before I do, who do you want in the second and third round in day 2 of the draft? Let me know in the comment section down below. But first, my top 3 guards moving forward, Jonah Savana. Jonah, I think, is an absolute mauler. I think he can come in now, and he's versatile. He played offensive tackle. It was about a month ago. I was doing mock drafts, and I was picking him in the second round to potentially move down to guard. And he played offensive tackle at Arizona. And even though on the screen it shows him as an offensive tackle, he's going to be drafted as a guard. All right, so that changed up about 2-3 weeks ago, where you saw him labeled as a guard coming into the National Football League. And so at 6'4", 324 pounds, that is a very good size offensive lineman. And if you go back and watch his tape, he is an absolute mauler in the middle. And so I'd love to see us target him in the second round if he's available to us at the 37th pick. And then next up is Wyatt Milum. Wyatt Milum, I think, again, shows very similar traits to Jonah Savana, where in the running game, he's going to come get you. He's going to put you on your back at 6'6", 313 pounds. He pushes his weight around extremely well. And again, just like Jonah Savana, he played a lot of offensive tackle, but he's being drafted as a guard. So it shows that versatility. Now you get offensive linemen that can play multiple positions on this offensive line, and that's what you like to see. One of the traits that gets overlooked sometimes with offensive linemen is that when they play both positions, now they understand both positions. They understand if they're sitting at the guard position, they know what that tackle is supposed to do because they've played it before. And so if you can get guys that are as good as these 2 guys are, and again, I'm gonna talk about a third one in a second, but if you can get these guys at the level of play that they show on film, but they also understand both guard and tackle positions. I think that's an absolute asset for them to come in and really gel with the other offensive linemen around them, because I've said this multiple times in past videos and even on the lives when I do go live, is I look at the offensive line and you're only as good as your weakest link. It just takes one guy to miss their assignment, miss their block, and now that one single defender is now making the tackle in the backfield. They have to be able to work together, and communication is key when it comes to the offensive line. And so again, for these guys to be able to play both positions and understand both positions, I think brings just an added value that is very underappreciated in some of these evaluations. And so Wyatt Milum, again, is another guy I definitely want to see us target in the second round, maybe a little bit of a trade back and still snag one of these two guys. Again, Jonah Savana or Wyatt Milum. And then the next guy is Miles Frazier out of LSU. One of the things that popped on the tape, he's 6'6", 317 pounds. Again, another big body to anchor in that middle. One of the things that really impressed me is his pass blocking ability. And again, it's all about protecting Geno Smith, your quarterback, your most prized possession. If you go back, he has great eye discipline. He passes off defenders extremely well. He keeps his eyes exactly where they need to be. So when he does pass off, he sees other defenders coming. There was one play that was extremely impressive where he basically passed off. He picked up twisting defensive tackle coming in front of him. And at the same time, he passed that guy off and actually was able to chip the linebacker coming in late. I mean, he made basically contact with 3 defenders in that one play, and it was just extremely impressive. And so I think he does need just a little bit more work in the running game. But again, I'm looking at this guy maybe in the 3rd round. He might fall to possibly the 5th round. But this is a guy, Miles Frazier, that I am definitely focusing on day 2. All right, so let's kind of go back real quick. It's Jonah Savana or Wyatt Milum in the 2nd round, and then Miles Frazier potentially in the 3rd. So these are the guys that I want to target. I'm gonna go back up to the big screen, and I want to target the guard position because it's a need, but I want to make sure that we give Ashton Jeanty everything he needs to find success. We can't leave excuses on the table, or our offensive line wasn't very good. There was a hole in the offensive guard position. We can't give that excuse. We got to make sure not only open up the running lanes for Ashton Jeanty, get him to the 2nd level, potentially untouched, where he can just be absolutely explosive. And at the same time, you protect Geno Smith, because if Geno Smith can do what he did last year with a horrible Seattle offensive line, you give him that protection, he can be a potentially top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. I have no doubt. And again, when I say top 10, I'm thinking ranked, 8, 9, 10 in the bottom half of the top 10. But let's protect him. Let's protect Geno Smith. Let's open up running lanes, and let's make sure that we give Ashton Jeanty everything he needs to be successful. So again, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of Ashton Jeanty, the pick at number 6, and who do you want us to target in the 2nd and 3rd round in today's draft? Let me know in the comment section down below. So again, guys, I appreciate you sticking with me. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those notifications. I'll hit you with another video after our day 2 picks, but I'll also be going live on Sunday potentially with some of the other guys in this YouTube space. And so again, I definitely appreciate it. Again, my next giveaway is at 5,000 subscribers. So once I hit that, I'll hit you guys with that giveaway, but I definitely appreciate it. So again, enjoy day 2 of the draft. Make sure you check back in with me after that, and I'll hit you with my take on our picks on day 2. So appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.